What's going on, YouTube? Northstar CDH here, and we have someone new. It's Jeff from Untap Upkeep Ope, and he was the winner of Surviving the Badlands. What's going on, Jeff?
How's it going? It's good, just chilling.
Chilling on this fine day. How was pre-release?
Pre-release was crazy. Every single day we had 20 people, and we sold like more than I was expecting on day one, so it was awesome.
Hey, that's a plus.
Yeah, it's great.
So
Just glad the store's doing good, so
that's a huge plus. All right, so we're gonna get into the top 16, and we're gonna start things off with Jaden on Teval the Balanced Scale.
it's a very sick deck.
So Teval the Balanced Scale, flying whenever Teval attacks, mill 3 cards, then you may return a land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, create a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token. So we've got some fun things in here, some typical stuff that we're used to seeing with certain black decks. Oppo, Witherbloom is a hot one that we usually do not see because the combo of Chain of Smog and Witherbloom is you are hellbent. So usually when someone goes to try to stop a Chain of Smog, you have no cards in hand. So that's why we usually don't see this. But we've got Thoracle, Frog is crazy in here.
The Psychic Frog is pretty sick, and then you have the Protein Hulk lines.
Yep, we got Hulk lines, which is super cool in here. Some other cool hot tech in here. Diagraph Rebirth.
I was gonna say Diagraph Rebirth seems pretty sick.
Right, we're just constantly milling ourselves, so seems pretty good in here. Go down to the instance, some typical stuff that we're used to seeing as far as like Force Will, Mindbreak Trap, Gifts. Abrupt Decay is fantastic.
Oh yeah, it screwed me over in the game one of this tournament.
Phyrexian Altar is another combo outlet with Gravecrawler.
Yeah, and
Um,
I believe you have to have a zombie druid out.
yep. So like Warren Soul Trader is another one with this.
Yep,
With Gravecrawler, and then Zulaport Cutthroat.
yep.
That would be part of our Hulk lines. Tortured Existence is amazing in here.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Earthcraft, of course, we're used to seeing Rhystic Study, Mystic Remora.
Yep.
One thing we're not used to seeing is 29 lands, but we're trying to mill ourselves, and we need lands.
Yeah.
I can understand why we're so high on lands, and of course for a Cradle deck.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm super happy for Jaden with this list. This list is awesome.
I think it's super cool. I especially love like taking advantage of Teval's like zombie druids with Earthcraft.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's super cool. I also like that he's playing like a rural procession. Very interesting card. That you pretty much never see in CDH. And then I like all lists that are running Nature's Rhythm since I think that card is super sick.
I mean, I'm not as high on it, but I understand why it's good.
Oh yeah.
So that's just my 2 cents that are worthless to some people.
It's okay. I care about what you say. Trust me.
Hey, one person cares.
I like that he's running Sidisi. I think that's really cool. You don't ever see any CDH decks running Sidisi anymore. Um, Other than that, I think like the main cards to point out is like Diagraph Rebirth is really sick. A Rural Procession, definitely something you never see. I really enjoy Earthcraft decks, especially ones that have commanders that just immediately take advantage of Earthcraft.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, this has got some spice to it for sure.
I'm a fan.
I'm a fan. I like this.
All right, Mark. We got your Magda list here. So I'm not versed in Magda myself. I know there's some standard Magda cards like Battered Golem is part of the combo. We have a grip load of dwarfs
Yep,
because why not?
especially the artifact ones.
Yep, Metallic Mimic, the Harvester, Roaming
Roaming
Throne
Throne.
is
Yep.
disgusting in here.
Oh yeah, crazy card.
Uh huh.
And Magda's
Um.
got a ton of pieces since I stopped playing Magda.
Oh yeah. The biggest one, if he's playing, he should be playing it, is Klonkar is a staple. I know that one.
Oh yeah.
Um, we've got a bunch of stacks pieces in here. So like Dampening Sphere, Torpor Orb, Disruptor Flute. Um,
God Pharaoh
God
statue.
Pharaoh's disgusting. Ugh.
Yeah.
Portal's
Gravedigger's
disgusting.
Cage.
I know Clock of Omens is part of our combo.
Yep.
Vexing Baubles in here for more stacks.
I love the Life Crafters engine. That's crazy. That's just like every Magda's dream card right there.
Right. Instant staple.
Yeah. A
Just
vehicle
win-
that
just windmill slam Lifecraft engine.
every single time. Yeah. A
Every
vehicle
single
that is also a dwarf is
right.
crazy.
It's just busted.
Yeah.
Blood Moon is fantastic.
I enjoy that they're playing Sculpting Steel. I haven't seen any other Magda lists playing Sculpting Steel from what I've played against or since I played Magda. So,
I mean, it's copy artifact.
yeah. No, it's really good.
So,
Yeah.
um, Galvanic Blast, all the Red Blast, Pyroblast, Abrade, Siege
Yep.
Smash to destroy more artifacts.
Bottle Cap Blast.
Hmm.
Yep. Bottle Cap Blast is like really, I think that's probably one of my favorite cards that's been added to Magda lists. I think it's so awesome. It's just like a really interesting get, like if you kill a Thrasios, you get 2 treasures and you just tapped all your other treasures for it. I think it's
Right.
sick.
So for this list specifically, I want to say Realm Scorcher is one of the win cons here.
Oh yeah.
Um, like more or less Plan B.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just because we can generate basically infinite treasures, right? Um,
Yeah. Yeah. The combo is just like Magda, Artifact Dwarf, and Clock of Omens. You make
yeah,
infinite treasures.
and then Realm Scorchers are outlet.
Yep.
So, which is a plus because we can just sack 5 treasures, go get it, and win the game.
Yep.
So,
I the last time I played Magda, my uh outlet was like shuffling my whole graveyard back in, so this looks a lot simpler.
oh yeah, oh yeah. All right, next 14th place we have Levi on Tayam. Now
Levi.
it's been a while since he's been on Tayam. I know he's been playing Glarb. He's played one other list that I can't remember, but he came back to Tayam. Feel good memories, and Tayam is disgusting.
Yeah. Every time a Italian sits across from me, I just accept that I'm probably not going to be able to interact with what they're doing.
Right. So the biggest thing here is we're paying 3, remove 3 counters from creatures you control, put top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard, then return a permanent card with converted mana cost 3 or less. So we have Orcish Bowmaster is one of our outlets, and White Plume Adventure is one of our outlets. And we're going to perform loops with these. Ashnod's Altar is part of our combo win. So we're going to return one of these creatures, whether it be Orcish Bowmaster or White Plume Adventure. White Plume Adventure lets us go through the dungeon, and that's the one where we're going to complete a dungeon. It's what is it? Each opponent loses 5 life, or target opponent loses 5 life. One of those.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's target opponent loses 5 life.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that one. By sacking it, doing the thing with Tayam, and bringing it back. Basically, it is more or less a stacks deck with Eidolon, Aven Mind Sensor, Archon of Emeria. Uh, Bartamalu is also another sack outlet, so sack a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on it, which is huge.
Mm.
Basking Brood Scale, which I don't know if that was in his last one. But that's the adapt, create a spawn, and we should have. There's no sadistically, so we're not doing the sadistically shenanigans.
Mm.
But Carrion Feeder is also another outlet. It's one of our preferred ones for the sacking. Strangleroot Geist is just silly in this deck.
I think the coolest card that I've seen is just like Emperor of the Bones or Emperor of Bones. Very cool card. Just whenever you get a 1/1 counter, or whenever one or more 1/1 counters are put on the Emperor of Bones, put a creature card exiled with him onto the battlefield under your control with a finality counter. It gains haste. Sack it at the beginning of the next end step. So you can just kind of get rid of, like, if anyone ever targets your graveyard, you can just adapt him, and then or no, it's at the beginning of combat. Never mind. I messed
Yeah.
up. My bad.
It's not as good,
Yeah,
but it's
it's not
still
as
good.
good. I thought it was just as soon as you put a counter on him, you
Right.
get to exile a card.
Right. No. So the other thing too is this is another Earthcraft deck. Cryptolith Light is pretty cool in here. So all of our creatures are, mana dorks at this point.
Yep,
Insidious Roots for the tokens.
yep. Insidious Reach is awesome. Super
Def-
cool card.
Deafening Silence is disgusting. I hate seeing that card.
Yeah, not a big fan of it. Same for Aura of Silence.
Mm-hmm. The other big thing too here, 32 lands. This is absurd. Normally we're like used to seeing blue form on like what 27, 28 depending on the list.
Yeah,
We're at 32.
it's a lot.
This is a lot.
Yeah,
Like Cavern of Souls is our protection, Boseiju is removal, Dryad Arbor is another creature. Gavany Township is dumb in this deck. Let's pay 4 and put a +1/+1 counter on each creature I control. Sure. That is dumb.
yeah.
Of course, we're a Cradle deck. Saga's pretty good in here. Talon Gates is more of like removal, spot
Yeah.
removal for a trouble creature.
It's a solid list for sure.
It's disgusting. I hate seeing Tayam.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. Like I said, as soon as the time sits across from me, I just kind of accept that I'm not going to be able to interact mostly with whatever they're doing. So I'm glad I didn't have to play against Levi this whole tournament.
Yeah, Tayam's usually an instant target.
Yep.
Next, one of my favorite ones, Amy on Ob Nixilis, Captive Kingpin. So, some have heard me say it before, but like Ob is my pet deck. I absolutely love Ob. Basically, we're trying to get Ob out as fast as possible. We have a bunch of pingers, Cataract Parasite, Razorkin Needlehead, Orcish Bowmaster for those wonderful Rhystic Study decks.
Razorkin Needlehead was very, very relevant in every game.
Oh, I love Needlehead. It is fantastic. Reckless Fireweaver for when we're dumping our artifacts. Same thing with Disciple of the Vault. If we ever get the Dream of Prosper out, it's basically a game over.
Yeah.
Engineer is fantastic because Engineer lets us go grab Agatha's Soul Cauldron.
Yep.
And then we just need to go find our Walking Ballista.
And then just start pinging the table down.
Grape Shot is busted in Ob. It's fantastic. Because every time you deal 1 damage on Storm, you're triggering Ob.
Yep. Rakdos Charm was a very interesting card that I had seen this player play twice.
Really?
Yeah, and it was relevant both times.
Really?
Yeah.
So, like, what? Exile someone's graveyard or destroy the artifact?
The exile someone's graveyard. We were playing against the Dihada player, and the Dihada player had tutored 2 cards, one to the top, one to the graveyard, and she casted end step, casted Rakdos Charm, getting rid of their graveyard, just like pretty much completely removing them from that game, unfortunately. And then when we saw the Rakdos Charm in the top 16, it was too late, but we saw it, and that could have very well stopped Eric in his tracks if he didn't have a Flusterstorm in yard.
Wow.
Yeah.
Got it. So I need to add Rakdos Charm.
Yeah. Cuts off anyone going for breach lines.
Right. Duly noted. Alright, so I can make some changes. I love Random Volley in here. Can't be countered. 4 damage target, white or blue creature. Yes, please.
Yep.
Son Half is literally just protection for Ob here. More times than not, I should say. There are times where we can do some silly things with our pingers.
It could also make infinite dual casters, and then you can cast whatever spells on the stack infinitely.
Right.
Yeah. But getting it to replace your ob when someone targets it is huge.
Oh yeah. The biggest thing in this deck is removing Ob, and we need to protect Ob as much as possible. So that's why we have some stuff in here that I guess you wouldn't be used to seeing.
Yeah.
Um, Moving down to the artifacts, we do have Bolas' Citadel line, so Sensei's Divining Top, Aetherflux Reservoir, and Bolas' Citadel. I don't run those in my list because trying to cast Bolas Citadel is a pain. There are ways that we could cheat it in, but Amy's not on those lines.
Yeah. It's
So
an 11 mana line. It's kind of rough in Rakdos.
it is. But if you somehow get 11 mana, it's just a win.
Yeah.
So,
Most games, Bolas the Citadel on it by itself can be a win just out of
right.
nowhere.
The other one that I'm not a fan of is Power Balance. I haven't had good luck with this card. But all Obi-Wan, yes, it is just a win attempt. That's why I've slotted in Gutshot with mine. So, like, Ob Nixilis, Obi-Wan, and Gutshot to start the chain.
Yep. Yep.
She's on 26 lands. That's the one thing with Ob is like try and make sure you have your lands early on. So, Urza Saga is in here because we can get Soul Ring or Sensei's Divining Top out, so we can start doing like the Bolas Citadel stuff if we get to that point.
Yeah.
But the one card that I don't see that she should put in is Command Beacon. Command
Definitely.
Beacon has saved me so many times and has won me the game because of it.
Oh yeah, I mean, Ob is gonna get removed as soon as it can every single game, so Command Beacon makes total sense.
Not only that, but Command Beacon gets around Draneth Magistrate, which shuts down this deck.
Yep.
So that is the one crutch is Draneth Magistrate. But no, I'm glad. That and the other thing too is I found out they drove 5 hours to come to this tournament.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 5 hours to come play. Made top 16.
Yeah, must
Like,
have really wanted that Badlands.
huge congratulations to Amy and playing
Yep.
Ob and making it out. All right, next was one that we're used to seeing is Adam on
We don't even have to talk about Adam's list.
on Krark's side. I guess like from the typical Krark's side list, like would be I don't even know what he like changed on this.
I know for sure he recently added back Villas, Broker of Blood. And he's been, praising Malevolent Hermit and Professional Facebreaker a lot recently, just because like PFB gives you an outlet for your Tavern Scoundrel and Stormcomb
Yes.
Artist treasures.
I know
Um,
Professional Facebreaker is really good in most decks.
yeah, any deck that it's in, it's typically like one of the best cards.
Mm-hmm. As far as the sorceries, I think it's standard is what's in here. Reanimate, Detutor, Diabolic Intent, Probe.
Yeah.
The instance, he's got Gutshot, so you can chain into that together.
I mean, it's also just like free flips, getting you your Magecraft triggers.
Right, that's the other thing too with it. So that one's super cool. I love Peek, looking at someone's hand to see if you can go for the win.
Oh yeah, he does that so often. Like he runs Peak, Get Probe, and some spicy tech that he taught me. Surgical Extraction. A well-timed surgical extraction just lets you know if you can go for a win or not. So it's the same thing as Peak and Get Probe. It's 2 life to get rid of a card in a
Mm-hmm.
graveyard and then look at two people's hands.
Right,
Yeah.
really
It's all
good.
it's also really good for trying to stop, breach wins.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of Breach lines, we have Breach in here. One of my favorite cards that he slotted in, I don't know when he added this, is Steel Enchantment.
Yeah, he did that recently. It's just we've been talking a bunch about it, like how crazy the meta is about immediately getting a Mystic Remora or a Rhystic.
Right.
So running a lot of people are running more Steel Enchantment Mirror Maid effects.
Yep.
I believe he was bouncing off a Mirror Maid a bunch, but I think he landed on Steel Enchantment just because it also takes away somebody else's Rhystic Study.
Right, and that's huge. I run Steel Enchantment and Mirror Maid in my TNT list. Sadly enough, I've yet to see them come up and be relevant, but that one time it's going to make the game go in my favor drastically.
Yeah.
Typical artifact package that we're used to seeing with Adam. Obviously LED for breach lines. Now 25 lands, 26 with the MDFC. Little on the lower side. Undercity Sewers is fantastic. I love Surveil lands.
Yep.
Mysterized Village is amazing.
Won me a game at the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about that when we get there.
So yeah, I mean, it's definitely not our first time seeing Krark, and definitely not our last.
Yeah, and it's only gonna get better with the Final Fantasy stuff and other sets that are coming out. So
Right, it's only gonna get better. So the sad part is, for those that don't like Krark, guess what? You're gonna see it more. So congrats, Adam, making top 16. Now the scary list, this Dihada.
I admittedly don't know much about the Dihada lines. I used to know them prior to the ban. I think they're pretty similar still, but I'm not fully up to date for this deck.
So the one thing with Dihada is I know that it's let's take a peek on the enchantments. Oh, so we're not doing the Solemnity enchantment line. But we do have Bolas Citadel. Okay, so we're just using Bolas Citadel as a value piece. Alright. So Goblin Engineer grabs us. Where is it? Defense Grid for protection. We do have Ad Naz in here. Orm's Chant for protection. Ranger Captain protection. Facebreaker. Let's see. Bergie Dual Caster with Molten Duplication. Felidar Guardian.
I can't remember what the Felidar Guardian.
It's just a flicker effect.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, we're flickering Dihada.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Oh, the Ready is also our way to get back an artifact. So like Bolas Citadel, Grinding Station. So Grinding Station helps to fill our graveyard. We're on breach lines to help fill our graveyard. So breach, LED, Grinding Station.
Yeah, I mean, seeing a Dihada in the top 16, I mean, also just seeing a Dihada at this tournament was surprising. And I talked to the player a bunch. He seems really cool. Unfortunately, the game that we played was kind of just a complete shutout by that Nixilis player.
So I did get at SCG, the SCG 5K, I got to play against him, and his list was slightly different from what it was now. So he did make some changes. He was setting up for a win, and I was on Rog's side. There's a Winota player and a Gitrog player. So I'm the only blue player, and I'm on Rog's side. I'm not the control player either way. So
yeah,
it was rough.
Yeah, I believe that.
Winona player played a stacks piece, like I want to say it was Grafdigger's Cage, which basically, no, apologize. I went OBM into Wheel, took out, basically wiped the field of all the creatures that were out there. Downside is I gave the game to Gitrog because he drew into the Land Dredger.
Dakmor Salvage.
Yes, that one. Dakmor Salvage is part of his win con, and I just literally fed him to stop the Dihada player from trying to win.
Yeah.
So, sucks on my end, but I tried.
Happens.
But no, it's basically we're using the graveyard and presenting a loop right? It's got to be a loop.
Oh yeah.
Because Felder Guardian flickers Dihada, down tick Dihada to grab treasures, but there should be a sack outlet. And I'm
That's what I'm looking for as well. I don't really see it anywhere.
Because Dihada reveal top four cards, you'll have a pretty number of legendary cards from among them into your hand. The rest into your graveyard, create a treasure token for everything this way.
Look at us, we're so knowledgeable on Dihada loops.
I
Uh,
Yeah, I'm terrible with Dihada.
yeah, no, I'm not entirely certain as to what the lines are. Unfortunately, like I said, I'm not up to date on this one. It kind of flies straight over my head. I used to know him. I don't know him now, and I'm not seeing any sack outlet for the Felidar Guardian.
Dihada. Sorry, we don't know the lines. Dihada's scary.
Yeah, that always terrified as soon as I see a Dihada.
All right. Steven, one of the multiple blue farm lists. Polywig Prodigy. That's something we're not used to seeing.
Yeah, he said that he added it since the 5K.
Really?
Yeah. I mean me and him had talked about it a little bit. I mean I'm a big fan of Polywog Prodigy as a card personally.
I like it in like Tymna Thrasios, more creature heavy decks where blue farm typically isn't creature heavy.
Yeah.
But I mean, you cast Tymna or Kram and it evolves, so I understand,
Yeah. The Dreamland of Polywog then Tymna then Kram is like pretty good,
right?
now. Yeah. So I don't know. He's got a big butt. He's kind of annoying to block. Most people aren't gonna block a 1/3.
No,
So it gets you in with your Tymna.
right? A typical blue farm list as far as the instant packages. Dark Rit, Culling, yup.
Final
Adnaz.
Fortune.
Is
There's
Adnaz usually
It seems that a lot of blue farm lists are flip-flopping between whether or not they want to play Adnaz. A lot of them are actually even taking it out just for the fact that they don't want to keep getting hit over and over. But I still think that in blue farm, this is typically you should be running an Adnaz. It's gonna get you what you want. I don't run Adnaz in my deck.
we'll get to
But
that.
yeah, we'll
Why?
get to that.
We'll get to
But
that.
yeah.
But
But I
I
think
mean,
for the most part, Blue Farm players typically want to be on Adnaz. I think it's just essentially a really good win con, either early or even sometimes late game.
right. Big fan of Smothering Tithe in here. Carta's just busted.
Yeah,
27 lands. Not no surveil lands. We
no,
are running Tarnished Citadel.
no surveils. Yeah,
Cavern is
Cavern's been pretty good in Blue Farm from what I've seen. I mean, every game I've played against a Blue Farm player that's played Cavern of Souls, it's done well for them. So.
right. I'm just personally not a fan of Spire of Industry. Do not like
It's
it.
it seems that he's going for as many rainbow lands as possible. He's playing
Right.
Forbidden Orchard, which most people are no longer playing Forbidden Orchard.
Right.
Um, I understand the wanting as many rainbow lands as you possibly can, and this blue farm is always going to have at least one artifact on the field. So
But yeah, no, it's typical blue farm list.
yeah, looks good. Classic blue farm list. It's got its Thassa's win cons. We're running Wheels, Breach, Brain Freeze, the classics, Necropotence, Adnaz. Pretty much
Mhm.
everything you'd expect to see in a blue farm list.
Right. Second blue farm list, back to back, Quentin.
Yeah. Quentin's been doing really good lately in tournaments. He's a very, very talented pilot.
Um, no Polywig on this list,
Hmm.
but we do have Archivist.
Yep. And I
Voice
think
of
that Archivist is like a very, very strong card that most people should be playing.
we're on Swords and Path in here. That's new.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Path.
Yeah, I don't see the only reason I wouldn't be playing Path right now is because Earthcraft decks are becoming so like
Right.
relevant that like Rogsai, Tayam, uh, TNT, or not TNT, Tymna, or oh my gosh, Tevish, Thrasios,
Yep.
uh, decks like that all want to run at least one basic. So
Right.
Path is a little risky, but for the most part, I understand.
27 lands, cavern, exotic.
He's on Otawara,
Yep.
um,
No surveil.
no surveil.
Typical, like, obviously, path is different. Want to say offer would be a flex spot as well, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. He's also playing Mnemonic Betrayal, so it looks like he's trying to potentially win with other people's graveyards as well. Um, but other
I
than
mean,
that, looks like we're running the
meme bet
classic
in
blue
blue
farms.
farm, yes. Meme bet in Rogsai, yes.
Yeah.
Like, those are the two decks that meme bet should be in.
Yeah. Typically also some Esper decks are always running it too, but yeah, for the most part this looks like our standard blue farm list just like the last one. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah. Good job
Con-
to Quinton.
right. All right, Matt. The Boogeyman, Rogsai.
Very,
Um,
very, very good Rogside pilot.
yeah. He's been doing very well on Rogsai. I want to say this is basically the last time he made top 16. Or, I no, it was top. I want to say it was top
He made
4.
yeah, he made top four at the Cradle tournament.
Yeah, the Cradle. He made
Yep.
top 4. And this, I want to say, is identical.
Yeah, it
Uh,
looks pretty identical. I'm not noticing anything different. Maybe stock up. I don't know
no,
for
he had
sure though.
stock up. Stock up is fantastic.
Okay.
I am so high on stock up. I'm playing it in Tymna Thrasios. Like,
Okay.
this card is bonkers. Obviously, some decks don't want to be doing this, but at the same time, is for 3 mana, you dig 5 and put the 2 best into your hand is really good. The downside is the sorcery speed, but we have
Yeah.
Valley Flood Caller, so that makes it infinitely better.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Stock up is fantastic.
Yeah. So we're looking
24
at like
lands. That's where I
yeah.
get. That's where I always get iffy on. I think I had 25 when I tried Rogsai, and I did okay with it. That's the only. That's the biggest thing that gets me with Rogsai is 24 lands, and you're mulliganing so aggressively, and I hate to do it.
Yeah. But I mean, in a deck like this, the mulliganing super aggressively typically always works out in your favor.
Hmm.
You can keep insane fours in Rogsai.
Congratulations to Matt putting up back-to-back performances. Hopefully, we'll see another appearance of Rogsai at the 5K. I'm excited.
Yeah. We got another Rogsai deck next.
Eric, back to back Blue Farm, no, back to back Roxai.
He's on even
This,
less lands. He's on 23.
uh, I don't like that. All right, what's the difference if we can spot it real quick?
He's got Chromatic Star. Did Matt have that?
No, maybe.
Mm, Chrome Star kind of helps with the grinding station.
Yep.
It also, lets you draw a card. It later filters. It just replaces itself. Time Twister. I don't remember if Matt was playing Time Twister or not.
There's like very few cards that are different. Both running the Surveils, which yes, in this list, yes.
Yep.
Roxai loves Surveils. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't remember what the difference was.
It doesn't look like there's too much of a difference. The Chromatic
Oh,
Star is one of them. Other than that, and then minus one land, it seems like they're running essentially the same list.
yeah.
Very, very standard, very strong, super good Rogsai deck.
Oh yeah. Congrats to Eric.
Yep. He's a very consistent player.
All right, next we have Zeekers on tried and true Rog Thrasios.
Yeah, he is just absolutely killing it with Rogthras. I mean, he's very,
Mm-hmm.
very good talent. Very, very good pilot.
So one thing we have the combo is Oboro Breeze Collar. So
Yeah.
Oboro Breeze Collar,
Um,
Cradle.
and Talon gets a Madara plus, I think it's like 5 creatures.
So you need a total of 6 lands to be even, 7 to go positive. And with
Six.
the 6, you're just basically phasing out your opponent's creatures, so you can just go in and swing. Basically
Hmm.
at this point. But if you have the 7th, you're creating infinite mana.
Of any
Um,
color.
yeah, well, specifically green.
Well, you make green, and then with Talon Gates, you filter it into any color.
Yes,
Yep.
later than filtered into any color.
Yep.
Um, and then we have one thing that I think is absolutely insane is Chatterstorm.
Oh yeah, I've been seeing a lot of Earthcraft lists running this Chatterstorm just because it lets you untap a basic like crazy.
Mm-hmm. Well, not only that, but Chatterstorm, say, 100. All right,
Yeah.
then we're gonna go find our finale because we're gonna sink all that mana into
Yep.
Thrasios. Go find our finale. All right, finale for another 100.
Oh yeah.
All right, yeah, it's just
Yeah.
silly.
Yeah. Malevolent Rumble is also a pretty cool card that I've been seeing a lot of people playing recently.
I'm a big fan of Malevolent Rumble, but for
Oh
other
yeah.
reasons.
I mean, it's a really, really cool card.
I'm a fan of it in Pauper Commander,
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
because Keru is so much fun.
Yeah, fun fact about Zeke and his Rogthras deck. Ever since he switched to Rogthras from Kinnan, I have never beat him in a tournament game. It's either draw or he wins. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yep, yeah. Zeekers is really good. Um, so growing rights is another cradle.
Yep.
That's disgusting. If he gets cradle and growing rights out,
He did in one of our games. It's
that's
crazy.
it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Like it's not for sure win, but it's very likely
Mm.
that it's going to win.
You're in an incredible position after that. So,
Right. So,
and then,
28 land, shifting woodland is busted in here.
yeah,
Um,
he's
Most
also on.
notably, there's no surveil lands.
Yeah. I think it's just he wants to go fast, no tap lands is the plan.
Deserted Temple seems
It,
really good in here.
yep, untaps that cradle.
Yep. So, um, training grounds just helps with the activations.
Yep. He's also on Candelabra of Thanos.
Yep.
Really, really cool.
Yep. Brain freeze,
And
breach.
he's able to run the breach packages, and it's a little bit easier because shifting woodlands.
Mhm.
So even if you end up milling your own breach, you can just have shifting woodlands become it.
One thing I think is kind of crazy in here is Thunder Trap Trainer. When this creature ETBs, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a non-creature, non-land from them. Put them into your hand. Put the rest of them bottom of your library in a random order.
Yeah, it's essentially an impulse, but also a body, so it feeds your cradle,
Mm-hmm.
which is nice. And then also, if for some reason you have enough mana to offspring it, I mean, you're getting two
Right.
cards. It's pretty
Right.
good.
So, congrats on Zeekers.
Yeah, super, super good stuff.
5th before we get to the top 4.
This is Augie.
Augie. Yup.
He's playing playing a deck that me and him sort of crafted together. It's another one of the Friends Forever Stranger Things pairings. Chief Jimhopper and 11 the Mage.
So, yeah, kind of explain this deck because this is obviously the first time I'm seeing it.
Yeah, can do. So essentially, this deck is like the same color pattern as Blue Farm, running a lot of the same similar creatures as Blue Farm. But what you should be thinking of this deck is Tivit, but add red. You're constantly looking to outvalue people using Jim Hopper's attack trigger. You're investigating for each non-token attacking creature you have. Whenever you're casting 11, it's typically just to get another creature out and draw a card each turn. She's not super important to the game plan. However, Jim Hopper is. He's going to get you so much value off of his attack trigger. He also, with however many creatures you can attack with without them dying, goes infinite with Time Sieve. Because you can just create a bunch of clues with all your attacking creatures, and then sack them all to time sieve and then just go again.
Tivit, but add red.
Yep, Tivit but add red is essentially what this is. It's really cool. It's super fun. He's got a lot of super high synergy cards like Academy Manufacturer, Myrel, which is awesome. It helps with the time sieve. Some of my favorite additions are like Rev. I really think it's cool that he's playing Tivit in the 99. I mean,
Also, notably, we do have breach lines.
oh yeah. Yep, it's you get the addition of breach lines on top of time sieve.
Like, this is absurd. Like, all right, who came up with this idea? That's what I want
So
to know.
the anti-Tymna Discord, they've been playing this deck a little bit here and there, but it was never like it hadn't seen any relevancy like since before the bans.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm a big fan of the Friends Forever cards. I like playing them in CDH wherever I can, just because I think they're cool. And I also have always been like kind of a hipster in the form of I don't like to play the like highest meta. So I threw an original list together for Jimhopper in 11, and I pitched it to Augie because he was kind of still trying to figure out what decks he wanted to play. And he was like, "Yeah, this deck is super sick." And then he essentially took that base list I made, which honestly not super great, and he upgraded the crap out of it and made it 100% better. I mean, enough to where he's killing it. He's got fifth in a tournament. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Just barely missed out the top four.
yeah, just barely missed out the top four. The deck is super sick.
Hopefully, we see more of this. Uh, hopefully, we see this at the 5K. Maybe. Fingers crossed.
Oh, for sure.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, congrats to Augie. Like, this list is absurd. I would nowhere, couldn't even think about doing something like this. So,
Yeah.
this is awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's start the top four. We have, what's known as Cocaine Bear,
Yep. Lumra.
Lumra. So Lumra, Connor. Connor used to play past X were Tymna, and now he went to Cocaine Bear and made top four with it.
Yeah,
So,
he was absolutely on fire the game, the two games that we played. I mean, the top four game was kind of quick, but he had a pretty good opening. And then earlier in I think it was round three, he was just a monster board presence the whole game. It
mhm,
got to the point where he was essentially just like, I'm gonna cast Lumra, and then we had two players worrying about it, and they were like, okay, I'm gonna force will Lumra, and he's just like, okay, next turn. I'm gonna cast Lumra. Like
mhm,
just every turn eating some form of interaction. He was just
yep,
a insanely scary board presence.
mhm. Not only that, but we got some stack pieces like Collector Oof, which shuts down a lot.
Yeah. Oof is super relevant right now, especially if you're able to run it in your deck. It's
Mhm.
ridiculous.
So Ashaya is fantastic. Notably, non-token creatures you control are and force lands in addition to their type. And Ashaya's power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. Oh, food chain? I didn't even see this one.
Yeah, if you can food chain, it just allows you to keep casting Lumra over and over,
Ah, didn't
which
even
wi-
see that one
which will win you the game.
because I didn't even see Greater Good as well.
Yep, Greater Good's also crazy. Although,
Root
so
Maze is disgusting.
yeah.
Transfer is disgusting. Zuron Orb. I suppose he has where did I just saw it? The one that you play Landsmery Graveyard.
Um, I actually don't know where that's.
Am I
Yeah,
blind?
I know for sure. Thought for sure he was doing that.
That's what I thought too. Oh, he's got the endurance loop.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't see him being able to play lands from his graveyard, but you don't really need to with Lumra. You can just keep casting Lumra and getting
I
them
mean, you
back.
got
So
six.
yeah, I
So
just think
six will
they're
do it.
yeah,
But he's got the endurance loop. Should have the endurance loop, right?
yeah. I think so. It's either he has the endurance loop or it's just like the best piece of interaction in this deck.
Right.
Um, yeah. I mean, he's looking to get out any untapper for lands. So Amulet, Spelunking,
Mm-hmm.
uh, or is he even on? Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, he's on Amulet. I was gonna say, whoa.
There's
Uh, or
Amulet.
Tiller, or Tiller Engine. Those will all untap the lands, allowing you to essentially recast Lumra.
Right.
Zurin Orb to sack all your lands so that you can kill Lumra. Altar of Dementia so that you can mill yourself more and kill Lumra. Greater Good so that you can kill Lumra and draw a bunch of cards. Pretty much any way to kill Lumra and then recast Lumra
Right.
essentially makes this deck incredibly scary.
Right.
And then running tons and tons of utility lands, things like
Yeah. 48 total lands, 50 including MDFC. This is absurd.
yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense when you play against Lumra and you start to realize the Lumra game plan.
This is absurd.
He has a bunch of the lands that allow you to just essentially kill all your opponents. Arid Archway, it enters, or sorry, not Arid Archway. Where's the one where it deals one when it enters?
Oh, the desert.
Yeah. Uh,
Um,
was he
it's a
not playing it?
desert. Buried Ruin Castle.
Holy shit, is he not playing it?
This is in a different language. I don't know what it.
Oh, there it is. Sun Scorched Desert. So
Ah, yes, there it
when
is.
when when it enters, it deals one damage to target player. So when you're infinitely looping Lumra, this is one of the cards that allow you to kill somebody. There's also the Mouth of Rohan, or Ronan. I don't remember what the card's originally called. It allows you to pay 4 and a snow to tap it, sacrifice it, deal 4 to a creature, so you can get rid of the whole board. There's no one that's going to be able to stop you. You also have like the Vesuva and the other copy lands. So when those enter, they're going to be Sun Scorched Deserts, helping you just quickly end the game, killing
Mm-hmm.
everybody. Um, the whole game plan of Lumra is literally just cast Lumra, kill Lumra, cast Lumra, kill Lumra, get your lands back. Make sure you have an untapper, because as long as you have an untapper, once you're at a certain part of like a certain number of lands, this is it. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're just gonna win.
Right. Yeah, Lumra's scary.
Yeah, no, it's a terrifying deck to face. I like a lot of the cards in this list too. I think like playing Nissa and Lotus Cobra, super, super cool. Those are also going to help you ease out your Lumra recast lines.
Yep.
Being able to play like Springheart and Tuco, that's also super,
Yeah.
super sick. You're playing Dosan to get people off your back. Aftermath Analyst, awesome card. It's like a mini Lumra, same for Blossoming Tortoise. It's like a tiny Lumra. Hermit Druid to mill your whole library so that when you cast Lumber, you get every single fucking land back. Super, super sick cards. All of them do something super cool. Sylvan Safekeeper is another way to sack all your lands to kill your Lumra, to replay Lumra.
Congrats to Connor for making
Yeah,
top four.
no, super, super sick
Yeah.
list and very, very good pilot.
Next, we got Parker. Parker's on Blue Farm, the third and final Blue Farm.
Yep.
Again, a little bit different.
He's playing DRCs, like the immediate change I notice.
Yep, DRC. I love DRC in any kind of breach deck.
Yeah.
It feeds it so everything you do, you just instantly surveil.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's
He's also
fantastic.
on he's also on Toxic Deluge, which I personally have passed on Toxic Deluge and board wipes in CDH. Unless I'm playing a 100% like stack slash control deck, I just can't see myself playing board wipes anymore. Nadu's gone. It's not super necessary anymore to play board wipes. And every time I would cast Toxic, I felt like I was just like killing my board and letting somebody else win, essentially.
Although the big takeaway though is we're seeing a lot of like Thrasios Cradle decks, and it just blows them out of the water.
That is true. That is very, very true. And you can do it for like 2, and it shouldn't wipe most of your board. So, yeah, that's the those are the main differences I'm seeing right away.
No One Ring,
Oh, interesting.
no One Ring.
Wow. Hmm, that's crazy.
27 lands, no surveil, but we are in Otawara,
Yep.
Cavern,
He's on
Spire.
Spire. Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty good looking blue farm list. I'm very surprised by the no one ring, but I also get it.
Right,
You're trying to win before one ring becomes super relevant. So
right. Nah,
yeah,
congratulations to Parker.
yeah, very good list.
Peter. Been
Probably,
playing Inalla for what seems like an eternity now.
yeah, probably the best Anala pilot in Minnesota for sure.
Oh, I would easily put that. Like
Oh yeah.
he's been on Inalla since almost day one.
Oh yeah, I mean he's killing it. He's also got like super interesting creatures in his deck. Like his deck list is, slightly different than the main Anala deck lists, and he is showing that it is working. You
Well,
know?
it's Grixis Wizards. So
Yeah.
everything that we do, we pay one additional from Inalla, and we get to copy that ETB ability. So the scary thing is Spellseeker. You cannot
Yep.
let Spellseeker resolve. Someone made
Yeah.
that mistake. We'll not relive that memory just
I
yet.
yeah. I, it was a lapse in judgment after a 3-hour game. I was a little out of it, to be fair. But we'll talk about that in a sec. Super interesting cards are like Dragonologist and Overager Apprentice. You don't really see those in Anala lists. And then I don't know if most Anala lists are running Spectral Anarchist either. Or Arcanist, sorry. But those are super, super sick cards. Super
Right.
interesting. The Dragonologist is really, really good.
Well, what's kind of cool too is like you can, if you're able to discard them, for whatever reason, you have persist.
Mm,
So like you can just get them back with persist.
yeah, yeah. No, yeah, and like the Spellseeker loop, I kind of understand it. 20 card combo or 28 game action combo. Yeah. He's also on Blasphemous Act. Me and him have talked a lot about this. Blast Act being really, really strong.
Oh
He
yes,
there's almost it's always like one mana essentially. It's almost
yes,
never not one mana. Um and there's turns where he can just slam a Blast Act and then once the field's gone, he's just slam his Spellseeker because
right,
one mana to wipe the board is pretty insane.
right. There was one game I got to play with Peter, and he did a blasphemous act, to wipe the board, and luckily I had so it saved us for like a couple turns.
Mhm.
But I was able to sneak out a win because Eternal Witness for clutch.
Yeah.
So,
Um
but no, Blasphemous Act is huge in this. I love it.
Yeah, another card that he's playing that like you don't really see people playing is Cabal Therapy. Personally, I don't even know what he's doing with it. I think it's just to discard like Scholar of the Ages potentially to get it into his yard so that he can reanimate it, but
Hmm.
I have no clue what this card is doing here. I know that he swears by it. I need to talk to him a little bit more about what its importance is in this deck.
I mean, I would argue that yeah, if you have Cabal Therapy, you discard Scholar or Spectral,
Yeah,
and then you can just go and do some shenanigans from there.
yeah. It seems like it's just a really good discard one of the pieces in your hand so that you can start
Hmm.
reanimating them.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then he's got, Grim Tutor, he's playing Imperial Seal, he's playing, Step Through the Wizard Cycle card. He's got Lively Dirge and the rest of the Reanimator packages. Um,
So most notably, he's playing Grim Tutor.
mhm.
Oh, he did put Wishclaw back in. I know for a while he was talking about how like he swapped Wishclaw and Grim because Wishclaw always feels bad because you have to give it to someone, and it's the same CMC unless you wait the turn
Yeah,
as Grim.
I have definitely heard from people that it like swapping for Grim feels better. My personal opinion on Wishclaw is I'm just not going to use it till I'm going to go for a win or back up a win is
Right.
always my thing. I'm just going to slam a Wish Claw early. It's going to sit there for 6 turns and people are just going to forget it's even existing. And
Right.
then I'll be like, okay, Wish Claw,
Right. Another notable thing is he's not raw on Adnaz, but we have gifts, which
Yeah.
I think gifts in this list specifically is better than Adnaz.
Oh yeah, gifts is just a win. You get Spellseeker, 3 reanimation pieces. If you already have Spellseeker in your hand, you're getting 3 reanimation pieces in backup. Or you're getting 2 reanimation pieces backup and you already have something. Gifts is super, super versatile in this deck.
I'm a big fan of defense grid in here when you're going for the win.
Yep, definitely. I mean,
So, my 2 cents on defense grid. If you're not in white and you're going for a win, I would argue that you do what you can to get defense grid
yep,
as a protection piece.
I agree.
So,
Yeah. Another really interesting card he's been playing, and a lot of people have been trying to sell to me, and I agree, this card's super nuts, is Apple of Eden. This card's crazy.
tap it, pay for life, sacrifice it, look at the target opponent's hand, and exile those cards face down. You may play those cards this turn, and mana of any type can be spent to cast them until end of turn. Whenever you play a land or cast a spell this way, its owner draws a card at the beginning of the next end step. Return the exiled cards to the owner's hand. Activate only as a sorcery.
Yeah, so in the SCG Con 5K,
Mm-hmm.
we were in a game together, and honestly, when he played this card, I had to politic with him a bunch because if he had looked at my hand, the game was over. He was gonna win hands down. If I couldn't access if I could not access my hand there,
Mm-hmm.
he had the game. I had Thassa's Tainted Pact plus a Force of Will in
Oh
hand.
Jesus.
Yeah, and so I had to like sit there and kind of politic with him about it, be like, hey, so what are you gonna do with that? Like before it resolves, let's talk about it. What's our game plan here? You're not gonna
Mm-hmm.
use it on me right away. Like who are you using it on? And he was like, I think I'm gonna hold it up as a piece for later. And I was like, that's perfectly fine as long as you're not using it, we're good. And then luckily that was enough to convince him. Typically that doesn't work on people, but I
Right.
think it was just he couldn't have expected a turn for Thassa's Oracle with backup,
Mm-hmm.
which I mean, I wouldn't have expected it either.
Right.
Um, but like I think I mean I just had like the nuts. But
So.
yeah, so this card's crazy. It's a really strong political piece. You could eat counter spells. You can get people to like do make crazy deals if you don't look at their hands. This card kind of goes hard.
Mm-hmm.
Old
28
never looked at
lands.
Yeah, 28 lands,
I
pretty
love I,
average.
I love Mistrise in here.
Yeah, yeah, super super strong in this deck for sure. He's
So.
also on Gemstone Mines. He's also looking. I mean, it's turbo. He wants as many lands as. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he's trying to win ASAP. So Gemstone Mine, the 3 turn cycle thing, typically is never relevant.
Right. For those that if you got to watch the semis, Peter had like a turn 2 win or turn 3 win. And then the final table video is on YouTube and on Twitch. That one, he does,
He
spoil it.
goes for it
He goes for it
on turn 2.
on turn 2. But
Yeah,
obviously, as you can see, we don't have Peter, we have Jeff. So it didn't
yeah,
work out in his favor. But we'll talk about
yeah,
that in a second.
yeah.
So,
No, really, really good job to Peter. He was killing it all day at this tournament.
all right, Jeff. Obviously, Walmart Blue Farm. Um,
Walmart Blue Farm.
give
We
it,
ended
give
up
us
getting
the
there.
the spiel of why it's Walmart Blue Farm.
Can do. So this is a 5 color variation of essentially Blue Farm. We are playing all of the notable Blue Farm cards, but we also get to add cards like Birds of Paradise, Emergent Ultimatum, very cool card. We also get to play Carpet of Flowers. I used to be on Sylvan Library, still, a speculation card. Um, so I'm not running too many green cards. It's really just like it's extra value. You get access to all 5 colors. You're like you have all the best cards in CDH at your disposal. Um,
Question: you said best
yeah.
cards in CDH. All right. So if we were playing the best CDH cards, why are we playing Emergent Ultimatum? Why are we playing Enter the Infinite, Expropriate, and Peer into the Best?
Oh, okay. So the reason we're playing those cards is because our commander, 11 the Mage, says your maximum hand size is 11, and whenever she attacks, you draw a card and lose 1 life. Then if you have 11 or more cards in your hand, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell for free from your hand. So we're playing 4 really big spells. So I'll start in order. We have Emergent Ultimatum, which is 2 black, 3 green, and 2 blue. It's a sorcery that says search your library for up to 3 monocolored cards with different names, exile them, an opponent chooses one of those cards, shuffle that card into your library, and then you may cast the 2 others without paying their mana cost, and then you exile Emergent Ultimatum. So obviously there's 3 other cards you're gonna go for. You're gonna go for Enter the Infinite, Expropriate, and Peer into the Abyss. And then they have to essentially give you the, hey, here's how, which way do you want me to win, you know? So if this card resolves, you're pretty much golden to win the game. If for some reason you can't get those cards, you can just slam Thassa's Demonic and Tainted Pact, and that will get you the win because you'll just resolve to get Thassa's Oracle with one of those other two, because they're gonna give you the two. They're not gonna give you, Thassa's and Tainted Pact or whatever.
Right.
Or you can get Underworld Breach, Tutor, and that should also get you there. Essentially, this card is super versatile. It's like a crazy version of Intuition. It's like, hey, give me 2 cards that I get to cast right now, and no matter what 2 cards those are, I'm winning the game.
Mm-hmm.
Enter the Infinite is ridiculous. It is a 12 mana spell that says draw cards equal to the number of cards in your library, then put a card from your hand on top of your library. You have no max hand size until your next turn. This is essentially just going to be picking up your deck and windmill slamming Thassa's. um, if anyone tries to stop you, you have your whole deck. There's no way you're not able to interact. I'm playing Born, I'm playing Valley, and then I'm playing a bunch of counter magic. So if you're casting this spell with 11 and it resolves and you can't win, that's on you, but you are going to be able to win with your whole library in your hand. I almost guarantee you can fight through everything and still get there. Um, the next card is Expropriate. It's 9 mana sorcery. It's a voting card. So starting with you, each player votes for time or money. For each time vote, take an extra turn after this one. For each money vote, you choose a permanent owned by the voter and gain control of it. They have to respond to this on the stack. They can't respond to your choice. You're always gonna choose time. You always get an extra turn. So this is essentially always an extra turn spell. If this spell resolves, this one's not a guaranteed I win the game. However, this is gonna put you in the best spot at the table. If you are able to get this card out, you're gonna be able to, take someone's Tymna, take their One Ring, take their Rhystic Study, take a land, just take whatever you want. It's it's gonna put you in the best position. And then if you're getting this off of Emergent Ultimatum, and they should be giving you Peer into the Abyss and Expropriate, you're gonna go to your next turn after crafting a perfect 7 from your half your library. There's almost no way you don't win. And then the last one is Peer. It's 7 mana. Target player draws equal to half the number of cards in their library and loses half their life rounded up each time. The only time this kills you is if you're at 1. And drawing half your deck, you should be able to get there. It's sort of the same situation with Enter the Infinite. If you can't get there, unlucky, but if there should be no reason you can't present a win after casting Peer. Other than that, the rest of the deck is pretty just your standard blue farm list. Um, we have tons and tons of counter magic. We're running gifts, intuition, silence effects, stuff like that. Our artifacts are pretty basic. We're running uh, a bunch of 2 mana rocks. We got Arcane Signet, Fellwar Stone, talismans. Other than that, it's like the classic artifact package. We have in our enchantments, Carpet is the one that's really standing out. I mean, it's just extra mana. It's really it is a strong value piece, and even if it only gives you 1 mana each turn, it's still insanely strong. And then the rest are pretty basic, Mystic Remora, Necropotence, Rhystic Study, Underworld Breach. You have your breach lines in this deck, obviously. I still think that's one of the best ways to win um in CDH right now. Lands are pretty basic. The only interesting one, other than Mistrise, is Boseiju. That's one of my other green cards. It has been super, super relevant in almost every game I've played. It gets rid of Rhystic Studies. It gets rid of like anything that makes stuff enter tapped. It gets rid of like win conditions sometimes. Like it is an incredibly relevant card. I think that more people should be playing Boseiju if they're not.
I think the hard thing with Beseju is trying to find it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because you there's no good ways to tutor it. Like, yes, there's carpet of flowers, but if you're sorry, not carpet,
Crop
the
rotation.
crop rotation, yes.
But if you're crop rotting it, it comes to the battlefield. Yeah.
Right, it feels bad.
Yeah.
So plus the other thing too is if you're gonna crop rot, you're getting cradle.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's no
Um,
good way to like tutor besides like demonic tutor, vampiric tutor, but then if you're tutoring for a land, it just feels bad.
oh, for sure. Yeah. The way that I see Boseiju in this deck is 90% of the time, I don't even look at this as a land. I'm looking at it as an interactive piece.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm realistically on 26 lands, which is good. I have two dorks and I have a bunch of rocks. I don't ever really have any mana troubles, but for the most part, this card has been a really, really strong card in this deck. Getting rid of Rhystic Studies is super important, especially on turns where you're trying to push, and it's almost always just one mana to get rid of a Rhystic Study. And if they waste a deflecting swat on this Boseiju, I mean that's incredible. That means that your win attempt is a little bit more backed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Congrats, dude.
thank you. Yeah, Miss Rise was awesome. I did get a top, or I got not a top 16 win, but I got a win in round two, I believe, where I misrise villaged my attack trigger with 11, and I put an uncounterable Enter the Infinite on the stack, and that was on stream, so that was pretty sick.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
So yeah, congrats, dude. This is awesome.
thank you. Yeah, I'm very very excited that I won. I've been, you know, coming out to almost every tournament you host, and like I'm just trying to do good.
Hopefully, we see some more consistency with this deck on another top 16 finish of the 5K.
I'm hoping so.
Sweet. Well, we'll
Right.
see you next time.
Yeah, of course.
Huge congratulations for Jeff for winning Surviving the Badlands. The Summer Classic 2 on July 12th is going to be our largest CDH event to date in the history of Minnesota CDH. So come out, beat your favorite YouTubers, and win some cool prizes as top four are each getting a blue duel plus cash on top. We also have a huge announcement. We have custom playmats made by Snowball. These are the top four that you're going to take home. And if for some reason Lady Luck is not on your side, don't worry, you can still pick up a custom playmat by Snowball the day of.